The Gospel according to Luke, chapter 9. He called the 12 together and gave them authority over demons and to cure diseases. He sent them out to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal. He said, "Take nothing for your journey, no staff, no bag, no bread, no money, and do not have 2 tunics. Whatever house you enter, stay there and depart from there. Where they do not receive you, shake off the dust as a testimony." They went through the villages, preaching the gospel and healing everywhere. Herod heard of all that was happening and was perplexed. Some said, "John has been raised," others, "Elijah has appeared." Herod said, "John I beheaded, but who is this?" And he sought to see him. When the apostles returned, they told him what they had done. He took them and withdrew to Bethsaida. But the crowds followed, and he welcomed them and spoke of the kingdom of God. The day wore on, and the 12 said, "Send the crowd away to find food." But he said, "You give them something to eat." They said, "We have 5 loaves and 2 fish." He told them, "Have them sit in groups." He took the loaves and fish, looked up, blessed, and broke them. He gave them to the disciples to set before the crowd. They all ate and were satisfied. 12 baskets were taken up. As he was praying, he asked, "Who do the crowd say I am?" They answered, "John, Elijah, or a prophet." He said, "But who do you say?" Peter said, "The Christ of God." He warned them to tell no one. He said, "The Son of Man must suffer, be rejected, be killed, and on the 3rd day be raised. If anyone would follow me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. Whoever saves his life will lose it, but whoever loses it for my sake will save it. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose himself? Whoever is ashamed of me, of him will the Son of Man be ashamed when he comes in glory." About 8 days later, he took Peter, John, and James to the mountain to pray. As he prayed, his appearance changed and his clothing became radiant. Moses and Elijah appeared with him, speaking of his departure. A cloud overshadowed them, and a voice said, "This is my son, my chosen one. Listen to him." When it ended, Jesus was alone. They kept silent. The next day, a man cried out, "Teacher, look at my son. He is my only child. A spirit seizes him and afflicts him. I begged your disciples, but they could not." Jesus said, "O faithless generation, how long shall I bear with you? Bring him here." Jesus rebuked the spirit, healed the boy, and gave him back. All were astonished at the majesty of God. While they marveled, he said, "Let these words sink in. The Son of Man is about to be delivered." But they did not understand and were afraid to ask. An argument arose about who was greatest. Jesus took a child and said, "Whoever receives this child receives me. The least among you is the greatest." John said, "We saw someone casting out demons and tried to stop him." Jesus said, "Do not stop him, for the one not against you is for you." He set his face toward Jerusalem. A village did not receive him. James and John said, "Shall we call down fire?" But he rebuked them, and they went on. Someone said, "I will follow you." Jesus said, "Foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." To another, "Follow me." He said, "Let me bury my father." Jesus said, "Let the dead bury their dead. But you proclaim the kingdom." Another said, "I will follow, but let me first say farewell." Jesus said, "No one who looks back is fit for the kingdom of God."